Men of Reddit, what is a man's secret that you think every man should know? Part 1. Don't touch your genitals after cutting jalapenos. In addition, don't touch your balls after using a DEET-based mosquito repellent, especially if the repellent is 100% DEET. It was not a fun evening. If you find yourself about to cheat, fap it first. You'll then realize you really don't want to do it. Say, "No, I am her father," completely deadpan with no inflection or attitude. I'm a female, but I notice they are expected to be the ones to hit on the girl and make all the moves. It's stupid. That's why I make all the first moves. Yep, the thing about cheating is that the anticipation is the temptation. As soon as you come, you feel horrible. WD-40 is not a lubricant. The WD stands for water displacement. It will get rid of your squeak temporarily, but evaporates quickly. Use a spray liquid silicone and give that WD-40 to your grandma. Source: I'm an elevator mechanic. As a bicycle mechanic, I cannot upvote this enough. Don't ever get that stuff near your bike or anything else you want to actually lubricate. If you must, you can buy aerosol spray cans to do the things you would use WD-40 for. Except on the cans, they say lubricant. Better yet, use a dropper so you don't spray it everywhere. When you shave your pubes, use conditioner instead of shaving cream. It prevents any razor burn. Conditioner is what I used for all my shaving needs growing up. It's more translucent than foam, so you can maintain hairlines and leaves the skin soft and smooth. Putting Rogaine on your face every day for a month will not make your beard grow in better or thicker. It will just give you horrible acne. Facial hair and hair on the top of your head work on different feedback loops to define when to grow and for how long. This is why DHT sensitivity can drastically affect the top of your head in a bad way, but can also increase the amount of facial hair you have. No matter how far along she looks, no matter how obvious you think it is, don't ever ask a woman if she's pregnant. Wait until someone else says something. It's not worth the risk. This is also for women who are buying clothes from the maternity section of stores. Some women like the Empire waist thing and don't really care if it comes from the maternity section. Don't ask. You know that cream that removes leg hair for women? Don't use it on your balls. Just don't. Used it twice, no problem. Third time, medical attention. She isn't always right. She will appreciate you sticking up for yourself, just don't be rude about it. Conversely, you're not always right. Learn to appreciate when you've rightly lost the battle. Applicable to both sexes, but every man should know anyway. Invest in what goes between you and the ground: mattresses, tires, shoes. I have scoliosis and I spent an extra $300 to get a memory foam mattress instead of a spring one. It was the best money I have ever spent in my life. Back pain in bed completely eliminated. Overall back pain severely reduced. Keeping your fingernails neat and trimmed is a sign of sexual intelligence. No girl wants you venturing around her nether regions with jagged talons. Further, once you trim with clippers, get a nail file and smooth the jaggies out. Use actual sandpaper if you need the man points. When shaving your Adam's apple, hi, I'm Adam by the way, in order to not cut yourself, swallow and hold to make it flatter. Or just slightly pull the skin to one side and then the other to save yourself from choking with a sharp implement near your jugular, either or. Don't get caught up in the macho game. I spent a good portion of my 20s in the army and went to Iraq and Afghanistan and was an angry tough guy before and after. When I got to around 28 years old, I realized the extent to which that sort of behavior had messed me up and hurt folks around me, and started making an effort to do better. Ignore all that noise. Find things about life that are meaningful to you and don't worry about how manly they make you. You'll live a better, braver life if you do. I feel a lot of men overcompensate in this way. I think it's become more prevalent in our culture recently. Glad you've changed. It really does make the people around you miserable when you're like that. Compliment a woman on her shoes. It does wonders. Got it. Compliment shoes, not boobies. That getting married for the sex is like buying a 747 because you like peanuts. Getting married because you care about the other person is like buying a 747 because you love flying. Broken light bulb that you can't unscrew? Cut a potato so you have a flat face, then press it into the broken glass edges of the bulb. Turn the potato to unscrew the bulb without any cuts to the fingers or a rude electric shock. Note, make sure the light switch is off. Pliers to grab the metal edge for the non-barbaric. Don't be fooled by the looks of a person, male or female. The most innocent looking person can be evil. And the evil looking person can be the nicest guy in the world. The majority of the time, a woman doesn't want you to solve her problems when venting to you. Rather, she just wants you to listen to said problems or issues. I read a book written about a bunch of polls taken by women. The whole thing really helped me understand the differences in how men and women think. This is basic human communication. Goes for both genders and all relationships. Advice is almost never wanted. Good therapists know this. Usually, if you listen long enough, a person will figure out what they need to do on their own. Pressing on your gooch will squeeze out an extra few drops of piss so you don't end up with extra coming out when you sit back down. Those drops are called peebles. Trimming your beard will make it look thicker and fuller. Same goes for thinning hair on your head. Growing either long makes the thinning more noticeable. I completely disagree. My head hair is getting thinner, and one of the things I do to make it seem fuller is to let it grow a bit. The longer the hair is, the more it adds cover to the scalp. A nicely trimmed and maintained beard looks good. A wild and unkempt neck beard looks trashy. Also, a little light cologne worn properly every day will make people like you without even truly understanding why. If you can still smell your cologne 5 minutes after you've put it on, you're putting on too much. Clarification: if you have it on your wrist and smell it when you sniff your wrist, that's fine. Stop sniffing your wrist. If you're just walking around and catch some hearty whiffs of it, it's too much. Do not cover yourself with half a bottle like they show in the Axe commercials. Do not use Axe. When a bro splits with a chick he is rather attached to, don't instantly tell him that now he is free to hook up with random chicks the second you find out. For at least the first 2 nights, newly single bros just want to sit there in silence, nurse beers, and smoke. Make that happen. Yeah, you are totally right. It takes time to heal a wounded heart or even think about it. I recently split up with the girl I was considering marrying, and then a family member died. I didn't feel like talking to or dealing with new women or even new people for 2 months. Give a firm handshake when you meet someone. Look people in the eye. Smile. First impressions are everything. And after a while, you can work on points for style, like the club tie and the firm handshake, a certain look in the eye, and an easy smile. Gay men do not automatically fancy you just because they're gay. You know, I don't think I'd ever consciously thought that all gay men would be attracted to me, but when I went to a gay bar for the first time in Manhattan, I left feeling sobered and chastised. That was a league in which I was not prepared to play. I don't know if it was the fact that it was New York City or what, but everyone was immaculate and stylish and paid me exactly no attention. Not that they really had any reason to. That said, I did have one drink bought for me, which was a very foreign and fairly giddy feeling. More straight guys should go to gay bars. Aside from being a load of fun, I think it's really healthy to feel like a foreigner sometimes, to feel out of one's element. It can learn you something. Don't confuse growing up with not making mistakes, or never being wrong, or being diplomatic all the time. Don't confuse maturity with not showing emotions. Be enthusiastic about things. Be pissed about things. Allow yourself some one-dimensionality and stupid arguments. It's fun, and it keeps life interesting. Similarly, be careful when acting upon strong emotions. Let them pass. I think all of my regrettable mistakes have been feeling I had to take decisive action when I felt a certain way. A steak needs to rest after it comes off the heat for a few minutes before you cut into it for maximum flavor. You can use a rubber band to pull out a stripped screw by placing it in between the screw and your screwdriver or drill. Don't be ashamed or embarrassed to ask questions when you don't know something. More often than not, the other person will be willing to show you. I'll have to try that stripped screw thing sometime. Currently, I use one of those stripped screw extraction kits I got at Home Depot. Basically, you use one bit that drills a cone in the screw head. Then you flip the bit over and it's got grabby bits that dig into the side of the cone you just drilled, and out comes the screw. Awesome for stripped rack screws. There are not actual hot singles waiting for you in your area. I think better advice is that there probably are hot singles in your area, you just won't find them on cheesy chat sites. How to open a front clasp bra with one hand. Frickin' front claspers are harder than back claspers. Also, claspers is now my new favorite word. Your late teens and 20s are the perfect time to start great habits. Your brains are not as set, they're more elastic. Want to learn a foreign language? How to play music? Stop procrastinating. It is very hard to develop these things past your late 20s, so I've been told. Remember that to become really good at something, as in master something, most people need at least a good 10 years doing it over and over again. Don't wait until your 30s or later to start doing stuff like I did. For example, exercise habits. Really hard to get into a routine if you've never done it. Laziness begets laziness begets laziness. The time is now to stop messing around. Don't end up like me. I hope more people see this. Great advice. Fortunately, I'm in my 20s and love working out, and I hope that never changes. It may be harder when you're older and have more stress and responsibilities, but if you take time for it, only an hour a day, it's never too late to change. Generosity, understanding, and empathy. You catch more flies with honey than with vinegar. Pro tip, one can catch more flies with balsamic vinegar than honey. Keep 'em mean.